Global warming has affected tick populations and the area where they are located. There's an increased risk in spring, April to June, more so in moist weather. Welcome to Atlantic Canada. Ticks can be found any time of the year, and with the milder winters, tick die-off has been minimal. How can we protect ourselves? First of all, you can wear long sleeve shirts, long pants and hats when you're in a potentially tick-infested area. To prevent the ticks from crawling in under your pants, you can tuck them into your socks or your shoes. Wear shoes, no socks, no bare feet or sandals in these areas. Wear a hat, and if you have long hair, tuck your hair into your hat. And if you wear light colored clothing, it's much easier to spot the ticks. You can use a repellent like DEET on exposed skin, but don't put it on your skin under your clothing, and to use it with caution. It is a good repellent against flying insects, but it's been found not to be as effective against ticks. They say DEET can be sprayed on clothing, but from my research, it can damage the fibers. If it can remove paint off the handle of a hammer, it can damage other things. And if you are using a sunblock, apply the sunblock first and then the insecticide. And when you go in, out of your area where you've been, be sure to wash off the sunblock and the insecticide. It's best to walk in the middle of trails away from tall grass and brush, and try to travel in cleared areas. Don't sit in the long grass or on logs. Potentially ticks could be lurking there. When you're coming in, visually inspect your clothing and your body for ticks. The larval and nymphal stages of the tick are very small, something like a poppy seed, and they can be mistaken for a freckle or a piece of dirt. Ticks like to feed on the back of the head, at the neck. It's a good idea to have somebody else help you look for ticks in areas that are not readily seen. Place your clothing in a hot dryer to get rid of any ticks that might have been missed. Ticks do not drown easily, so laundering doesn't necessarily kill them. Modify your landscape to make tick-safe zones. Keep play areas and playground equipment away from shrubs and brush and other vegetation. Also regularly remove leaf litter and tall grass and brush from around your home. And you can place wood chips or gravel borders around the lawn in order to separate it from the wooded areas and help keep the ticks from crossing over into recreational zones. Now, if you have a tick bite and the tick is still there, do not apply anything to the tick, because you do not want to tick off a tick and cause it to regurgitate into the bite site. Do not touch the tick with bare hands. You can use a tissue, a leaf, a piece of plastic, something. In the laboratory setting, ticks are considered biohazards. Carefully remove it by grasping it with a pair of tweezers close to the skin. Do not jerk, but pull it up slowly and steadily, being careful not to squeeze the tick when you're removing it, because it has the possibility of injecting the bacteria into the bite site. It'd be like giving yourself a hypodermic injection. After the tick is removed, you can disinfect the bite area and be sure to wash your hands. Make sure you don't crush the tick, because if it carries the bacteria, it could introduce the disease into the bite or broken skin. If you have cuts and scratches on your skin, you can be exposed to the bacteria without actually having a tick bite. There are tick removal devices available through veterinary office or outdoor wilderness stores, which make the task easier. You don't have to touch the tick. If part of the mouth parts of the tick are broken off, they can be removed later. They're considered to be similar to having a sliver, a foreign object that the body will reject. The mouth parts do not transmit the disease. The disease comes from the body. You have to be concerned with the body of the tick. Save the tick by placing it in a small container with a moistened cotton ball or some other material, and you can send it away for identification. However, keep in mind that if the tick is to be tested for disease, it has to be alive. Make a record of where you were when you got the tick and the date. The Department of Natural Resources is the place to submit the tick because they are doing this surveillance work for Nova Scotia Health Promotion and Protection. Lyme disease is called the Great Imposter, as it is often misdiagnosed or undiagnosed as some other condition. There's an extraordinary number of citizens being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, lupus, ALS, chronic fatigue syndrome, Alzheimer's, bipolar depression, ADD, autism, fibromyalgia, and Parkinson's, to be a few. There are no definitive diagnoses for these conditions. They are syndromes or labels put on a set of symptoms. Lyme can be transferred to the fetus during pregnancy as well as through breast milk. There are thoughts that it can be transmitted through blood as well as sexually. The list of signs and symptoms for Lyme disease is very long and can be different for everyone. These symptoms can shift and change and move around the body. Symptoms for Lyme disease. I have a list here that was found on the CanLyme website. The tick bite. Fewer than 50% of the people recall a tick bite or even see or get a rash. There can be head, face, and neck problems, unexplained hair loss, mild headaches, severe headaches, seizures, pressure in the head. There can be white matter changes on an MRI, twitching of facial muscles or other muscles, facial paralysis as in Bell's palsy, tingling of the nose, the tip of the tongue, cheek, or even facial flushing.